Okay, well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our presentation today on data management plan and the content and rationale for creating a data management plan. Our learning objectives will be to identify the rationale for the creation of a robust DMP and to describe the documentation that is required for a data management plan when utilizing both paper and or electronic data capture applications. There's a little bit of a difference between the two. We'll list the components of a DMP as defined in the Society for Clinical Data Management, GCDMP document, and we'll apply standards for creating, approving, and maintaining data management plans. What it is the best practices in data management. And so we're going to look at some of those highlights of that particular chapter in the document. So by definition, a data management plan, well-designed DMP, provides a detailed description of the how to handle the data under any foreseeable circumstances and establishes processes for how to deal with unplanned issues. And as you all know, we have attempted to be very proactive in our planning, but sometimes there appears to be something that's going to muck up the works and something that we didn't plan on, and that's why the data management plan is what we call a living document, so it is available to be amended as appropriate. From a data management perspective, our deliverable is a study database and clean data so that the data have to be accurate, secure, reliable, and ready for analyses. So personnel in the data management department should refer to the DMP for a consistent approach to the processes and guidelines for conducting data management activities. The DMP is an auditable document, and therefore we should ensure that what is determined in the document as per processes is backed by the actual documentation of those processes and standard operating procedures or their working practice guidelines that govern these processes. So again, if the agency, any agency or any auditor should come to visit, we remind that the data management plan is an auditable document, which means that what you write is what you're supposed to be doing, and then you need to have backup documentation to prove that is what you are doing. The purpose of a data management plan is to document processes and procedures. It promotes consistent, efficient, and effective data management practices. And that's why at this particular instance, we really strive to be efficient and standardized in our processing of data, and having a proper template to define those processes will enable us to maintain that purpose. We also want to communicate to the stakeholders on the study team the information that we utilize to create the database ready for analyses. It will also document our DM practices and decisions pertaining to the study. It must comply with the regulatory guidelines and our standard operating procedures and must address any procedural or protocol updates. So again, that's why if we have midstream, let's say a protocol amendment, which requires, let's say, an addition or a reversioning or case report forms or any additional analyses or edit checks that we have to put against those new data, really needs to be documented in our DMP. So let's take a look at the creation strategy when we start to put this document together. And basically we begin to do this during the study setup phase, and it will be based on the protocol, work scope considerations, scope of work, any kind of requirements that are listed in the contract, statistical analyses plan, document data flows. So we'll look at a table of contents, for example, in one of the samples that you have been sent. Case report forms and other supporting documents will be included in this creation of the document. So let's look at what we do at the beginning of the study setup phase. Well, we need to identify key elements. And usually during the study setup, we have a few things that we can look forward to, and that is having our timelines provided by our project management team. Hopefully those timelines then, to be appropriately captured, the timeline should be defined and identified according to task. And most of us are familiar with the MS project, which breaks down our clinical trial processes into steps. and each of these steps is dependent upon a specific discipline performing their tasks in a determined time frame. So we have one activity which drives another activity and so on till the end of the project.